The Next Level is a group of theater geeks playing Dungeons and Dragons. Here is your Dungeon Master, Rob Card.
Hello and welcome to The Next Level. This is the recap for episode 9, which we have titled Fighting Failure with Fire. Jacob is being held by the Mornish Empire, some soldiers who captured him in the previous episode. He tries to make the best of the bad situation by getting to know the woman who's watching him, a half-Golgath named Iris, who seems to be interested in him. Meanwhile, the others have arrived and are trying to figure out how to get Jacob out of there. Talon is contacted by a friend of his named Zarin, who's a thief around the city, and played by our special guest this week, Stephen Stewart. Zarin says that he's been watching these Mornish men and is curious why Talon is here. Talon explains that his friend has been taken and asks for help, which Zarin agrees to provide. On the other side of the building, Leon knocks on the door and starts a conversation with those inside, but they won't give up Jacob. Best they can do is perhaps have the others come with them when they go back to the Empire. Leon and Mint are both apprehensive, though, when they hear that those inside are from the Mornish Empire. Talon tries to sneak in, but that doesn't work, and he's noticed. One of the Mornish men tries to fire a pistol, but the gun jams. Tor tries to bash down the front door, but it only cracks. And when inside, Jacob pops his special elixir for the day, is now able to fly, and flies up to knock down a lantern onto a bed, starting a fire. This is where things just start to go wrong. More shots are fired, missing Talon. Iris grapples Jacob and pulls him back down to the floor. Talon tries to intimidate the Mornish men, but that doesn't go well. Zarin moves into the building to support Talon, who is now in an unarmed fight with one of the foes. Others are trying to put out the fire, but not having much luck. Zarin throws a flask of oil on the fire and misses, hitting the enemy wizard instead. Talon is stunned by the enemy monk, and Tor finally bashes down the door and manages to get their way inside. The enemy mage, who apparently forgot they were covered in oil, launches a firebolt at Talon, lighting herself on fire, but also dropping Talon to 0 hit points. Mint has now run around the building by this point and sees Talon down. First, she tries to get everyone out of the building in a calm and orderly fashion, but that doesn't work. So she throws her rock of healing at Talon and actually manages to heal him. Now, at this point, everyone's pretty much in a hurry to get out as the fire spreads, except for Mint, who's crawling around people to get in so she can get her rock of healing back. Jacob dives out the broken front door, but is followed quickly by Iris, trashing most of the barrier that had been put up there to get to him. And the fire grows. Leon Misty steps inside with a plan for it. Meanwhile, outside, Jacob heals Iris of some of her fire damage, then flees around the building and uses disguise self to hide himself as an old woman. Iris looks for him, but is not able to find him. She looks concerned and motions to the others not to go after Jacob, and he gets the sense that perhaps she's relieved that he got away. Leon casts a gust of wind to blow the fire out of the building, which does work. The fire grows initially, but then starts to get sucked out by the wind, and Leon adds some ray of frost spells to help tame the fire. The leader of the group just wants to get his people away at this point, having lost their prize. Talon tells him, to leave and never come back, which the leader mostly ignores. Zarin follows the Mornish men as they head to another bunkhouse for the night in defeat. The fire brigade arrives and helps with the putting out of the fire. It helps that the river that runs through the city is not that far away. And this keeps the fire from spreading into other buildings, though the one they were in is pretty much demolished. Jacob tells the others that Iris made an impression on him, that he may want to see her again, even though these people did kidnap him because he was an artificer and they wanted to take him back to work for the Empire. Jacob then takes a look through the wreckage of the building, finds a very odd object, a mummified goblin hand. Zarin circles back after making sure the Mornish men are staying put. Tells Talon a few things he knows about Morgan. First, Morgan stole a rare and priceless statue of the Reveler made from some rare metal and studded with gems. This belonged to Kayinsa, a gold dragonborn who's the syndicate's leader of their human smuggling ring, and has a thing for collecting beautiful items. Cainsa sent Dax and her personal enforcer Kavash, a half-red dragon, to find the thief. The syndicate heard that Morgan was at the Minstrel's Mews from the City Watch, and Zaran suspects that Dax and Kavash will be heading there soon, and if they find Morgan, the halfling is probably dead. Jacob asks how they found him, and they tell him of Tor's vision and being led there by a Stuffy. Jacob is quite appreciative that they came for him, but now knows he'll probably have to close up his shop and bribe a few people to forget about him. And then everyone heads back to the Minstrel's Mews to hopefully find Morgan before Morgan finds trouble. We shall see you next time on the next level.